The morning sun was just peeking over the rolling hills of my small farm in rural Tennessee, casting a golden glow on the cornfields and the old red barn. I'd pour my morning coffee and was settling into my rocking chair on the porch, listening to the distant lowing of my cattle when the ground started rumbling like an earthquake. I squinted down the long gravel driveway and saw them, 10 massive charter buses kicking up dust as they barreled toward my gate. What the hell? I thought, setting my mug down. This wasn't a tour group lost on back roads. This was trouble. Doors flew open and out poured hundreds of folks. Families with picnic baskets, kids waving balloons, teens blasting music from boomboxes, and even a few guys hauling barbecue grills. A huge banner unfurled. Neighborhood Association Grand Harvest Bash courtesy of our new community grounds. And there, strutting like she owned the place in a sharp navy suit with a whistle around her neck, was Brenda, the president of the local neighborhood association. She'd been hounding me for months to fold my land into her little empire, citing made-up rules about my fence height and crop dust. But my 50 acres had never been part of their subdivision across the highway, and I aim to keep it that way. What Brenda didn't know was that I'd seen her flyers tacked up at the local diner weeks ago, advertising this festival right on my property like it was public parkland. I'd upgraded my heavy iron gate with a remote lock and dotted the place with trail cams. As the crowd swarmed in, laughing and setting up tents, I hit the button on my phone. With a satisfying clank, the gate swung shut and locked tight, trapping the buses and everyone inside. Chaos erupted. Parents froze, kids whined, and Brenda's whistle shrilled as she barked orders. This is our space now. Don't let one greedy holdout ruin the fun. I stroll down, boots crunching gravel, and lean on a post. Folks, you're trespassing on private property. Nobody leaves till the sheriff sorts this. Brenda's face turned beet red. She jabbed a finger at me. Open that gate, Tom Reynolds. This land's for the community who voted on it. But murmurs spread. A guy in a baseball cap grumbled. You said this was approved. My family's stuck here because of you. Teens started filming, yelling, "This is going viral." Trapped by Brenda. I sipped my coffee, watching her empire crack. The heat climbed, turning the field into a sweatbox. Kids cried for water, folks argued over shade under my oak trees, and a couple of dads tried ramming the gate with a cooler only to dent it and back off when a bus driver warned, "That's vandalism, idiots." Brenda paced, her suit wilting, desperately rallying her loyalists. We're victims of selfishness. Stay strong. But doubt crept in. One woman snapped. You lied about the permits, me kids dehydrated. I stayed cool, letting her unravel. My drones buzzed overhead, capturing every meltdown for evidence. When a sheriff's cruisers pulled up, sirens wailing, the crowd surged toward the gate. Sheriff Hank Wilkins, a no-nonsense guy with a mustache like a broom, stepped out and eyed the mess. Ma'am, why are you folks on his farm? Brenda sputtered. It's community land. He demanded deeds. She'd zip. I handed over my titles. Survey's ironclad proof. Trespassing, he declared. And if you charged entry, that's fraud. Gasps rippled. Folks turned on Brenda, demanding refunds. Deputies organized an orderly exit, buses rumbling out one by one, passengers glaring at her through windows. By dusk, my farm was mine again, littered with trash but quiet. But Brenda wasn't done. The next day, a cease and desist letter hit my mailbox, accusing me of false imprisonment. She went on local TV, teary-eyed in a modest blouse, claiming I'd terrorized innocents. He endangered children, she wailed, ignoring the sheriff's statement, calling it a clear-cut invasion. I laughed it off, but her harassment ramped up. Drones hovering over my barn, unmarked vans snapping photos from the road, even anonymous notes threatening my cattle. My lawyer, Sarah Klein, a tough litigator from Nashville, built a fortress of evidence-leaked emails showing Brenda misused association dues for those buses, plus footage of her spies. Association members revolted. voting her out in a heated meeting. Rumors flew. She'd funneled funds to her personal projects. Her fancy house went up for sale. She slunk away to a dingy apartment in the next county. But she sued anyway, dragging me to court with wild claims. The judge shredded her case, slapping her with fines for harassment and ordering her to stay 1,000 feet from my land. The climax hit when a whistleblower slipped me docs proving she'd plotted fence cutting to reclaim my fields. Sheriff Wilkins raided her place, charging her with conspiracy. In court, she broke down, admitting obsession over expanding the neighborhood. The gavel fell. Probation, restitution, and a ban from any leadership role. Victory tasted sweet as I watched her shuffle out, defeated. Months later, the association reformed, sending apologies and even inviting me to barbecues. Kids visited to pet the calves, turning foes into friends. My farm healed, crops thriving under Tennessee skies. Brenda? Last I heard, she'd vanished, a cautionary tale in online forums. What do you think, should folks like Brenda face harsher penalties for power grabs? Or is public humiliation enough? Drop your take in the comments below. Share if you've dealt with a neighborhood bully and how you stood your ground. Let's debate.